I've been dreaming, painting in my mind, creating worlds, one frame at a time. Then I found you, shining in the dark. Blender Octane, you light up my heart. Every scene's a masterpiece, with colors so divine. You bring my visions to life, every curve and every line. From shadows deep to highlights bright, you make my artwork come alive every night. Every night. Blender Octane, you're the magic in my hands, rendering my dreams, making them so grand. With every frame you take me higher. Octane, you're the fuel to my fire. From reflections in the water to the sky so clear, every detail perfect when you're near. I can feel the power, every pixel so fine. In the world of Blender, you're the shine. Every scene's a masterpiece, with colors so divine. You bring my visions to life, every curve and every line. From shadows deep to highlights bright, you make my artwork come alive every night. Every night. Blender Octane, you're the magic in my hands, rendering my dreams, making them so grand. With every frame you take me higher. Octane, you're the fuel to my fire. In this world of 3D, you're my guiding star. With you my dreams don't seem so far. Every render a new beginning. With Blender Octane, I'm always winning. Blender Octane, you're the magic in my hands, rendering my dreams, making them so grand. With every frame you take me higher. Octane, you're the fuel to my fire. Blender Octane, in your light I'll always stay, creating wonders in every way. You're my muse, my inspiration. Blender Octane, my creation, sensation. I've been dreaming, painting in my mind, creating worlds, one frame at a time. Then I found you, shining in the dark. Blender Octane, you light up my heart. Every scene's a masterpiece, with colors so divine. You bring my visions to life, every curve and every line. From shadows deep to highlights bright, you make my artwork come alive every night. Every night. Blender Octane, you're the magic in my hands, rendering my dreams, making them so grand. With every frame you take me higher. Octane, you're the fuel to my fire. From reflections in the water to the sky so clear, every detail perfect when you're near. I can feel the power, every my mind, creating worlds, one frame at a time. Then I found you, shining in the dark. Blender Octane, you light up my heart. Every scene's a masterpiece, with colors so divine. You bring my visions to life, every curve and every line. From shadows deep to highlights bright, you make my artwork come alive every night. Every night. Blender Octane, you're the magic in my hands, rendering my dreams, making them so grand. With every frame you take me higher. Octane, you're the fuel to my fire. From reflections in the water to the sky so clear, every detail perfect when you're near. I can feel the power, every pixel so fine. In the world of Blender, you're the shine. Every scene's a masterpiece, with colors so divine. You bring my visions to life, every curve and every line. From shadows deep to highlights bright, you make my artwork come alive every night. Every night. Blender Octane, you're the magic in my hands, rendering my dreams, making them so grand. With every frame you take me higher. Octane, you're the fuel to my fire. In this world of 3D, you're my guiding star. With you my dreams don't seem so far. Every render a new beginning. With Blender Octane, I'm always winning. Blender Octane, you're the magic in my hands, rendering my dreams, making them so grand. With every frame you take me higher. Octane, you're the fuel to my fire. Blender Octane, in your light I'll always stay, creating wonders in every way. You're my muse, my inspiration. Blender Octane, my creation, sensation. I've been dreaming, painting in my mind, creating worlds, one frame at a time. Then I found you, shining in the dark. Blender Octane, you light up my heart. Every scene's a masterpiece, with colors so divine. You bring my visions to life, every curve and every line. From shadows deep to highlights bright, you make my artwork come alive every night. Every night. Blender Octane, you're the magic in my hands, rendering my dreams, making them so grand. With every frame you take me higher. Octane, you're the fuel to my fire. From reflections in the water to the sky so clear, every detail perfect when you're near. I can feel the power, every pixel so fine. In the world of Blender, you're the shine. Every scene's a masterpiece, with colors so divine. You bring my visions to life, every curve and every line. From shadows deep to highlights bright, you make my artwork come alive every night. Every night. Blender Octane, you're the magic in my hands, rendering my dreams, making them so grand. With every frame you take me higher. Octane, you're the
What's up with the camera? What's up with the camera? There it is. Cool. What up, guys? All right, let's get straight to it. We don't have a lot of time. 46 minutes. Texture Man, what is up? I love that name. Texture Man, that's awesome. All right, continuing from yesterday. Today's gonna be a tight schedule. You gotta stay on schedule. I was making this Japanese gate pole here, and we're gonna continue with that. And I'm actually probably gonna start from scratch again because I figured out a better way to do it. Let's see, for example here, actually I might just keep this portion here. Origin to geometry. Actually, we're not going to keep that part. We're just going to rebuild the whole thing. All right, just delete it. Okay, and let me go ahead and mute all that for a moment here. There we go. All right, so what do we got? We got green lights, no drop frames. That's looking better. Stream is definitely looking better. How's the stream looking on your guys' side? Sound okay? We got the Guatemala blend coffee going today. And one other thing, I don't like my camera position. I like how I'm facing the opposite direction. So let's flip that. Let's flip that and flip horizontal. There we go. Looks a little bit better. And I guess probably could turn the light on. Cool. All right, so front view. Easiest way to model this thing here. We're just gonna do just this gate portion here. And let's start with a cylinder. Scale that down. And actually tab into this GZ, get the origin point on the bottom there on the ground. There we go. And let's kind of just drop this over here to help me line this up for now. Actually, you know what? Hang on. Let's grab this image here, GZ it down so it's kind of like sitting there. I think that'll be a little bit more better. Alright, GX, let's move this over here. Alright, let's grab this top here. Back to front view, GZ this up. About to there. Then we're going to extrude this. No, actually we're going to inset it. About there. Then we're going to extrude again. There we go. Let's go back to the front view. GZ. Does it look like it's getting smaller? It does not look like it's getting smaller. GZ. Let's make that go all the way up to about there. Actually, hang on. GZ. If I look at it, oh, it actually comes to about here. And then it looks like it does another extrude. You can see back here, yeah, it does another extrude. This time it's extruding out. So, what do I do? How do I extrude out of this one this time? Oh, I know how to do that. Okay, so we're gonna go GZ it up to here, drop a loop cut here, bring that loop cut up to here. Then we're going to face mode, select this, Alt E, extrude along normals, and kind of do something like that. Yep, kind of something like that. Oh, we only did half of it. Let's go back to front view, X-ray mode. There we go. Alt E, extrude along normals. I think that's good. Shade smooth, shade auto smooth. Okay, nice. That's looking like the pole. Okay. What's the best way to go about this? I was gonna try to throw a modifier on it, a mirror modifier. Oh, I think we're gonna leave it like this and just build it out, because I tried to end the mirror modifier last time and it got weird in the middle here. So let's just keep it's very simple geometry. I'm gonna kind of keep everything separate too. So let's just duplicate this. Alt duplicate it, so if we make any changes to it, it'll mirror the changes, right? So we've got that. We've got that. That looks like it will go a little bit more, right? GX, something like that. Good. Okay, and then next, let's go ahead and do this wood bar right here across. Easiest way to do that. Drop in a cube. And let's go GZ. I'm gonna get the origin point right there. Alt Z, GZ, kind of like that. Tab into it. Alt. Let's go back here. Scale on the Z. Scale on the Z. And let's go into vertice mode, grab this GX, I'm just going to kind of line that up like that, G, line that up, let's keep these edges both together, G, Z, G, Z, G, Z, G, Z. I think I might put a loop cut down the middle here, because it looks like we're just maybe perspective angle. I probably should have took the image to Photoshop and straightened it out, but actually, yeah, let's just do that. Ooh, and we definitely have to tweak that. Select all G, Y. G, Y. Scale Y. Scale Y. Alt Z. Okay, I think that looks good. Alright, that's looking good on that section there. Let's take this next section here. Shift duplicate. Z. I'm gonna line the bottom up. Now this one's got a little bit of curve to it. So I'm just gonna line the flat bottom first. And then also widen it SY. It's about right there. Alright, come back in here, go into vertice mode, Alt Z. Yeah, now we're gonna need some more loop cuts, okay? Because we've got this curvature here. So I'm gonna put a loop cut here and a loop cut here. Let's put one here. Let's put one here. Let's put one in the center also. There. That's going to give us some room to bend this. And grab this bottom. G. Grab this top. Make it overlap just a little bit because it's going to overlap into the next piece. Strength. So the shadow here. So I'm just going to line it up to the base of this other wood piece. GZ. Like that. GZ. Line up at the base of that wood piece there. GZ. A little bit hard to see on that one. GX. GZ. Okay, now we can see that it's not stretching down here enough. So let's grab this bottom and pull that down. That's a little bit better there. Alright, that's lining up a little bit better. This piece here, GZ, line that up a little bit more with this edge. Almost feel like I want to put another loop cut there, but let's just leave it for now. We'll make it low poly and we can add stuff later. It's easier to work with it in low poly than come back and make it more high poly. I'm going to go a little lower on this one. Alright. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, actually, that's looking nice. That's looking nice. Alright. So next we'll just duplicate this same piece for the next piece of wood. Shift duplicate Z and just kind of line that up. I'm gonna let it overlap a little bit, it's not a big deal. Alt Z, rinse repeat this same process. Alt Z. Now we can see this one does come off a little bit more. I might add another loop cut in here in this one. GZ, we're going to line this one up with the bottom of, yeah, we're going to have to add another loop cut here. Let's just do it now. Right there. There's a way I can straighten this, right? If we press SZ0, nope, that brings it. SX0, there we go. SX0. It zeroes it out. Like GZ and G. The bottom is fine. I'm gonna leave the bottom. I'm gonna add another loop cut in between here. And we're just using this edge here. Let's see. Grab this GZ. And looks like we will put another loop cut right here in the middle. GZ. Just kind of following this green line here. One's coming on this side. Go a little bit lower. Another one in between. What was it? SX0. There we go. Grab that bottom. GZ. Actually, I'm going to keep the bottom. Try and just maintain a good distance right here. And let's bring it from the top. Jeez. So we might need another one right here. Okay. And this guy here, GG. If you press GG, it lets you slide it. I'm gonna just slide that over because I think we're getting a little bit too low on this one here. I think this bottom one is a little bit too low also. Oh, this guy here. GZ. Same with this guy here, GG. I like that. Okay, cool. Let's tab out of that, see what that looks like. Now there is some overlap. These should be overlapping. So this one, probably want to scale this. Scale on the Y. Look at that. Okay. And then that last top rim piece, the last little flap here, like this aluminum flap, rain guard or something. Let's just duplicate this again. Shift duplicate Z and line that bottom up, kind of something like that. Go into vertice mode, go to X-ray mode. This piece is going to be way thinner. It's the thinnest piece out of everything. All right, so try to get this to sit really nice and tight here.
So they're gonna use the best right now
No.
because we have the size of the ice too. You can try in this room.
No, but it's too loud for the mic.
Oh, okay. That's fine. It's okay. You can write. I'm gonna move the board.
All right. Let's quickly check here. All right, let's get this back here, this top piece. It's kind of hard to see it on that one. All right, let's see what this is looking like. Let me save that. And again, this piece should also overextend. Tab into that X, Y. Kind of something like that. All right, let's hide that picture and see what we got. All right, I can dig it. And that's about how high it is too, because like I know I have to dip my head underneath that to get in there. It probably could be just a little bit taller, but that's about how high it is really in real life. At least this gate is. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is subdivide it, I guess. Or how should I do this? Should I add a bevel to it? Hang on. Let's go ahead and apply scale. Apply scale. Apply scale. apply scale. Object transform, apply scale. Apply scale. Apply scale. Okay. So let's just keep it simple. Hang on, let's get the origins right too. Object origin to geometry. Origin to geometry. Origin to geometry. Uh-oh. Did that thing move? I think it did. Or origin to geometry. There we go. Those guys I want to stay on the bottom. This guy here, that's good. And this guy, where is his origin? Origin. There we go. Alright, now what we're going to try to do here, we got 25 minutes. I want to get this thing fully done. Blend, let's go to bevel modifier. And I'll give like 1, 2, maybe 3. I think I like that right about there. Okay, so now I can go 1, 2, 3, copy last one, Control L, link modifiers, or copy modifier. That copies it all too, right? Nice. This guy, copy this guy, same thing, Control L, copy modifier. We got the modifier on there. Yep, we sure do. Copy this guy, select this guy. Copy this guy, select this guy, Control L, copy modifier. Alright, that looks good. Alright, now, what do we got time left? 20 minutes, okay. So, one thing I was wondering about is this little box thing, this little sign thing here. It's a little bit too much for me, so I'm going to keep it simple and just make it like a we're just going to keep it simple and do like, hang on. Alright, see like this is pretty, like I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I'm just going to keep the center box. So what we're going to do is hold down shift, move the origin right here, come in here, we'll start off with a plane, rotate X 90, tab in, faces, scale it down. Kind of like, it's kind of like a bevel too. Let's start like this, scale on the Z. Okay, and then let's kind of like extrude it, I guess. Hang on, come into faces, E extrude. Yeah, it's kind of like extrude it like that. Tab back, go here to face, check my origins. Face origins. Okay, it's not red, so we're looking good. Back in, Alt Z. So what we want to do now is I want that edge around it. Okay, how do I do that? So let's select it. How would I do that? How about we just expand it, then inset it, and then extrude it? Okay, that'll be the best way. So select the face. Let's just go bigger. Let's scale it up to like right there. About scale Z. Kind of like right about there. Inset. Oh, that's getting kind of weird. Hang on, let's jump out. Ooh, yeah, well, kind of, but I didn't do that right. We didn't do that right. How am I gonna do that? Select both sides, right? Maybe select both sides. Extrude. Well, no, because we don't want to extrude the back. We just want to extrude the. We just want to inset the front. So inset. Actually, hang on. Just do this. Scale this whole thing up to here. Okay. Select that face. Inset to about there. Okay. Extrude this back like that. Then Control I, invert this. Now this section, like, can we put a loop cut around here? Yes, we can. And on this loop cut, I'm gonna go ahead and go GZ, pull it up a little bit, or no, actually GY. We're gonna pull that up like that, and then we're gonna bevel that. We're gonna round that edge off, add some loop cuts in there, just to give it a little bit of that curviness. All right. Jump out and see what that looks like. Okay, we're kind of there. Origin to geometry, and shade, auto smooth. Okay, that's kind of working. And then the next portion, how did I think I might just leave it like that. I'm just gonna leave it like that for now. Just keep it simple. Okay. There. Okay, now how much time we got? 20 minutes. Okay. Now let's take this, and where is that exactly placed at? That is kind of placed. Let me group all this now. New collection gate. We're missing that one too. And let's just kind of make this a little bit more bigger. Z down, kind of like that. Now, it still looks like it's sitting on the wood thing here. Now, maybe there looks like there might be something here in the middle that I might be missing. Okay. GY that forward, and it does sit like at some type of angle. I know that for a fact, because I look at this thing every day. I pass by it every day. But for now, I think I'm just going to keep it simple. GY, and just kind of go like that for now. All right, cool. Save that. Let's texture it now. Texture shading, jump in here. Add in an RGB image into the albedo. And we should just load our images already in here. There it is. And go to front view. Image 2.2, that's in there, that's in there. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna grab everything. Actually, we don't need the sign anymore. Hang on, let's go ahead and hide that sign. Let's grab this. We can't go into edit mode, sorry. Let's grab that. Faces. It was gonna be kind of weird with the round ones, right? I'll figure it out. select everything, you project from view. Let's do it like that. Add on a projection here. GGX. Roughness is not that shiny, but it is a little bit glossy because they just recently painted it. So it does have a little bit of gloss to it. Okay. And save that one more time. All right. Stream. How's the stream doing, guys? Anybody out there? Anybody out there? Anybody listening? If not, that's no big deal. But if there is, anybody there? Chime in. Where you guys at? Give some love to anybody, there. All right, cool. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's going on here? Oh, hang on. All right, let's get back to it. Let's finish this out. 15 minutes. So now, is my server on? Server is not on, so that is one issue. Got to turn the server on. I just recently figured out what the server actually is doing and why we have it in Octane. I figured that out yesterday. Let's actually get this other camera going. And let's quickly see. Oh yeah, there we go. Second camera's working. Nice. Yeah, so let's actually turn this light on probably, huh? A little bit brighter. For those of you who do not know why we have a server in Blender Octane, that is like the bridge between Octane and to the Octane server or RenderNet or renderer and the bridge between Blender, because Blender is open source, free source software, right? You can get in there and mess with the code. Unfortunately, Octane is not open source, so to keep their stuff private, they kind of just use Blender, and the server is like kind of like the bridge to go in between there to use the render without exposing code and stuff like that. Kind of like a watered down version of it, and that's why we have the server here. All right, here we go. Should be working now. Oh, I don't think I turned it on. Yep, it's up and running. Good. Okay, now we can see something here. Let's jump down and turn this into the UV texture editor. I'm actually going to kill this light because this light puts out a lot of heat and it is hot. You see what I do here now is like I get the two images that I took, I put them all in one file, and then I added a grunge map also. Put all that in here, one file. So if I share this asset out, all I have to do is embed one file, and that's it. Instead of having to have 3 different files, I did one file, and it's super easy, and it's an easy way. And I got a kind of like a more closer look, close up on it so I can get the details. Because one, I was going to model this sign, which I might actually try to go back and do on my own and just add it back in. But just to get a little bit more closer on the materials here, so we can get a little bit more detail. So I think we might use to the left. Let's tab into there. Grab this. Now let's just get, I'm probably going to use this. I wonder which one I should use first. Let's just use the close-up one. And what we'll do is we'll kind of put this area here in the black where it needs to be. Scale that out like that a little bit. Take these guys, GZ it up, or Y it up, sorry. And we want that to go all the way to right about to the edge there. Grab this GY. I want to put this one right there on the edge. Grab this GY. This is just going to be in the black there. And I want this to be right on that kind of seam there a little bit. This guy, actually this whole section here needs to be wider. GY. And what I'm going to do for some of these guys here is kind of like see if we can get them and just wrap them around it just like that. We'll see how that looks. That might not work. And it might work. See how that looks. And that's not that bad. I knew I was gonna get this weird seam here on the side because this is a cylinder piece, right? And it's like we're projecting it from the front. So, okay, let's just get it generally shaded and I'll come back and try to fix that later. What else did I want? That top piece. Nice, look at that. There we go. We got that seam, that edge right there. Let's make sure that's lined up. Let's actually kind of take these guys here, bring them over a little bit. Scale X, widen that out a little bit. This guy needs to go down here, drag that down to here. So we get that right on that edge seam there. See that? Nice. Okay, cool. That's looking nice. And you can see this has definitely got more glossiness to it, but we can dial that in later. But for now, let's just do that. And background, I don't want to see that right now. Boop. All right, next piece. Let's do this wood piece here. Come into the front view. Tab in. U. See, I probably should have did a cylinder projection on those round ones, but we'll come back to that after. I'm just going to do project from view because it's easiest for now. It's just a straight box. Let's go back in here. Grab that AG. Ooh, okay, now this one, we can't go straight across. Well, we could. Check this out. We can do that. I only got 8 minutes, but you know what? Hang on. We can do this. Watch what we're going to do here. Let's go back to Photoshop. Because I've got these original images already, and they're kind of like embedded it into the scene here. So let's open up this. And what we're going to do is we're just going to, what are we going to do? We're going to go to the mask. We're going to grab this tool here, and I just want to make a copy of this. Copy. Why is it not letting me copy? Ooh, what happened there? Undo. Oh, because we probably went on the right one. Okay, copy. There we go. Paste. Makes a new layer. V. Drag that over here. Like that. And on this one, what we're going to do is just paint it. Come in here, grab the clone brush, clone stamp brush. That's good size. And let's hold down Alt like right here and kind of just drag across like that. Hold Alt over here, kind of drag across. Hold Alt. And then the rest is kind of, let's go like 50%. Grab something here. And just kind of like blend this a little bit more better. Whoops, undo that. Let's actually make it a little bit smaller. And we can kind of use that always as a board, as at least one clean board. All right, now let's just save this back to the original. Save there. Jump back over here. Got to load that new image up. Tab out. Click on here. Load. Oh, actually, I can just load the Photoshop file because I was using the PNG. Actually, no, I don't want to load the Photoshop file because then the Photoshop file will be embedded in there if I export this. So I want to export out a new PNG. So we'll just come back in here. Export. Export out PNG. Signs, gate, PNG, update that one. Save over that one, replace it. All right, jump back over here. Turn that on, turn that back off, just to reset it. There, good. Now we come here, load that material, gate. All right. And jump back in here, actually. Back into edit mode. And, oh, we did not update it. Where is it at? Did it not update? Huh, let's see, let's see. Did it not update? Yeah, there it is. That's the new version. But I don't see it in Blender. Okay, hang on. That means I probably need to load it. So let's come back in here. Cancel. Take that out. Open image. Boom, there it is. Nice. All right, jump back in here. Now we can just use this as our default board paint up setup like this, right? SX, SY, GY, GY, G, get that one lined up there. Something got weird here. GY. I think that's good. Looks like we're missing a little bit here. Too high here in the middle. So what we could do is just add a loop cut here. Right? And that loop cut will allow us to select all, give us another point, and just GY it down. Looks like these guys might be a little bit GY. All right, cool. So now I can just rinse repeat this even on the top here. So like I would grab this top piece and go to top view. Project from view, or you can go cube projection. It doesn't really matter, whatever you want, because in this case it's pretty much just going to be like a cube shape, right? And we'll just repeat that same process. GY. And GY, scale Y, bring these guys all the way back. Scale Y. Okay. And then what I'm actually going to do, grab this and go 180. Oops. I'm going to grab this, go R 180. Just to give the wood a different look. So it's not exactly the same. So at least it'll be coming from the other side. So just to kind of add up a little bit of randomness inside of there. Okay, let's see what that looks like. All right, boom. Look at that. And that looks nice because we can actually see that wood detail in there, right? And then we'll add that into the bump eventually. And then I got to fix those sides here, so that's not a big thing here. All right, we're coming to an end here. Let me just, before I finish, let's just finish the whole thing. I mean, as far as putting the texture on, I won't tweak it, but I can knock these next ones out really quickly here. Okay, so actually we could just alt duplicate that one and slide it over. We don't even have to do that, right? We can do that right now. Let's come into front view, tab out of that, grab that, shift. Let me come back into model mode, front view, tab out. I'm gonna go shift D, X, drag it over. Something like that. Grab that other guy, delete that. G, G, X, kind of just tweak that over a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to play with the cylinder on that one. I might get a cylinder wrap. We'll see what happens. All right, next this bottom piece here. Tab in, select everything, select all, unwrap, project from view. Now this one, since this edge is cut off in the photo, I didn't keep that in mind. When I took the photo, we have to go back to the bigger one. We're gonna have to go to the more larger photo here. And it looks like I might do another paint out, like this stuff in the middle here, and paint that out also. Out of that, I might even just paint it out of this one and then just use it. But for now, let's go scale Y. Nope, nope, nope. Let's go scale X. And let me just get one edge lined up. Like I'll kind of line up the left side here, just get this last point right here set up on it. And then from there, just start coming in here and lining it up. Now what I also want to do is jump back over so I can see it happening. And hide that. And I didn't put a material on that. Okay, there we go. And we can kind of just get in close here. And there it is. So it's nice to actually see. I can look at the material while I'm doing it and see like good placement and stuff as far as the material goes here. Like see here, this is a little too tight. GY for these bolts here. GY. And I'm like looking right here at this little action right there. And then what I also can do is tab out of that. I'm gonna grab this, tab back into this. Put the vertices right. We should be on. Hang on, let me see what we're actually selecting. Yeah, I want that. And what I want to do while I'm here and see this, I can kind of get this to actually, you know what? Let's just go ahead and grab this one, GX, slide it over to this one here. All right. So we can really get the seam to line up nice, right? So I can come in here, grab this top one, GY, and just really finesse this seam here. GY. I don't think I'm on the right one. It might be this one right here. Let me see, GY. No, how to put that? Ah, okay, because that goes way up in there. Okay, I see why we're not seeing the difference. All right, so what would be the easiest way to do that? Whoops. Go to edge mode. Grab that top, GY it down. Up, make sure we're in X-ray mode. So I have everything. GY it down. Up, we're still not in X-ray mode. Hang on. Go to vertices, front view, select all, GY. What the heck, dude? How about we go to face mode, isolate that piece. Right, G. Oh, GY. GZ. GZ. That's probably why. Okay. GY. GZ, not GY. Okay. Now let's go. Let me go back into my render mode. GZ. Yeah, there we go. And just kind of line that up right there. Now, if we go ahead and select that top section there, hide this section here, let's get close up on this so we can see what's going on here. And now we should be able to grab this same there we go, see? Really kind of get that seam to match up. Just minute details. But look at that, that looks really nice from far away. All right. And the same thing here, this is not lining up. So let me line that up, and then let's come back in here. Yeah, this is not lining up. Alt Z, back to front view, GG, or GZ, sorry. GZ. Still doesn't look like it's lining up. Oh, it's the bottom piece. Bottom piece. GY. GY. There we go. Cool. All right, guys. That's it for today. We'll finish it up again tomorrow. I got some other stuff we got to do. I got to stay on schedule. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hanging out. Catch you guys in the next video. We'll be back tomorrow, and we'll finish up tightening this up tomorrow and getting this thing, and we'll fix the sides here. And looks like that's coming out pretty cool. I'm happy with that. All right. Peace.